Hello there Scapers, my name is Xenovilius and welcome to another patch notes review video. This week there are a lot of Slayer related patch notes, but before we go into any of that whatsoever, I want to talk about what you should not do because there have been so many bugs introduced because of something they tried to fix but didn't actually fix, just created something else. That important thing is not to change your graphics settings, because if you do, you're in big trouble. So as you can see, I'm currently on ultra mode. Now if I press custom and try to change one of these, for example if I change volumetric lighting to ultra, boom, and isotropic filtering has been turned to 16 as well. If I change my FPS to 145 because that's what my monitor supports, as you can see it changed my foreground FPS instead. So yeah, not ideal. This is unplayable, literally unplayable, but you just got to hope that when you change one of these settings, it doesn't change some other setting that renders it unplayable entirely. So if I put 145 here, what will it do? RuneScape was unable to implement that setting. Interesting, it's already at 140. Yeah, so basically it's broken. It's completely broken. And you do not want to be touching this, at least until they fix it. I'll try and update the comment section or the description below. Once they do this, they may have done this by the time I release this video. If so, I'll mention it in the comments or on screen now. But anyway, once we got that out the way, another important thing that is related to performance is your CPU usage. So let's have a look at my task manager here. If you can see it there you go. So currently RuneScape is using just 4.something% of my CPU, which is not too bad. Previously what happened was whenever you lobbied, it would use up pretty much 100% of your CPU. And it would actually be terrible. As you can see, it's jumped all the way up to 20% and then jumped back down, which is a big improvement on what it was doing previously. Yeah, so it's fluctuating up and down, but it seems to be much better than before, where it would simply cause your CPU to overheat, and it certainly did for me. Said I used to log out instead of lobbying whenever I had to stop playing for a bit or for longer than a bit, but hopefully you don't have to do that anymore now. Staying on the topic, guys, let's just get all these changes out of the way because I think they're actually quite important, potentially more important to your gameplay experience than the actual patch notes that were released. The first is that the login screen, the UI is the way it is because some of the changes they made to mobile seem to have filtered through the cracks and come into the desktop version, which is why the login screen looks like it's been designed based on the mobile version. One of the byproducts of this was the increased CPU load in the lobby, which they seem to have fixed as with today's update, the 1st of March. However, there is another issue which has definitely affected me a lot in the past week, which is that my client keeps crashing for no reason whatsoever. And it's not just me, a lot of my clanmates have also been falling prey to this, especially when we've been bossing. I've died so many times at AOD, Solak and Raksha by doing this, but thankfully it happened during double XP, so not too many people were bossing. If it continues to happen next weekend when things will get back to normal in terms of PVM, that could pose a serious issue in terms of people dying left, right and center and wasting time. So they're saying that amongst other things, the fix to this and the fix to the UI changes that were inadvertently made could be released as early as the 8th of March. I'm not sure if this will happen. If it does, that's great. You've just got to be careful. Make sure if you're a hardcore Iron Man, you're very careful about the difficulty of bosses you do, because this is not something you want to be encountering in the middle of a really tough boss fight. Something like a Ring of Life could be really useful here to teleport you away if you do crash. That's the end of my Slayer task. I should be once I kill this guy. Yep, here it is. Let's get the hell out of here. I forgot a bunch of things. Don't take anything from my slaying methods. I haven't slayed in years. Let's talk about the first Slayer improvement, guys. And we need to talk to Mandrith for that. Where the hell is he? Nope, not here. In fact, he's moved along with Vanica to this area here, which I think is a good improvement because I remember when I was a noob and I had to do my slaying task at Vanica, I had to go inside and walk through the entire dungeon just to be able to get to him. But now he's here, which is quite handy, and so is Mandrith. Now, I've never done a Slayer task with Mandrith because he assigns them in the wilderness, but why not? Let's give it a go now. This isn't part of the improvements, but There we go. Revenant Ghosts or Hellhounds. Definitely Revenant Ghosts for that chance at the Statius Warhammer, of course. Not going to do it now, but the actual update was that him and Vanica moved here. Hey guys, the next update I want to talk about is Jacqueline, who's moved from Burthorpe to Lumbridge. But first, I'm on my noob account and I think I can get a cape from this guy, so... Oh, damn. Okay. Ooh. I can get a 5-year cape. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Brilliant. There we go. 5-year cape. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So if you're a brand new player and you don't want to go all the way to Burthorpe just to be able to get a task from Jacqueline or Turael, you can talk to Jacqueline. So if I talk to her, eventually I should be able to get a task here. I need another assignment. Your task is to kill 25 rats. Sure. Okay, great. And that's that. So she should only assign you tasks that are around the Lumbridge area. I kind of wish I had this when I first started RuneScape more than 10 years ago. Way more than 10 years ago. I had to go all the way to Vanica in that scary Edgeville dungeon when I was a noob as well. Talking of Slayer Masters, we come back to Vanica. And because my combat level is 3, he will actually tell me that he's not able to assign me tasks. So if I actually try to get a task from him, I need another assignment. You're not strong enough to be taught by me. Your best trainers would be Turael or Jacqueline, which is fair enough. That's what you expect. Not sure what the combat level was earlier, but it's 30 now that you need. Defense level 2. Come on, guys. You made me get defense level 2. Damn it. I wanted to keep this a skilling pure, but anyway, proceed regardless. The reason I'm doing all this is so that I can show you the other Slayer Master who's got the same dialogue as Vanica, and that is... Oh, there's a penguin there. That is, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Mazchina? Anyway. Yeah, so I better unlock this lodestone in case that ghoul turns up again, because that took me about 5 minutes to kill that one ghoul. You know what would have been funny if I got the champion scroll from killing one ghoul? That would have been really funny. Anyway, that's the Canifus lodestone done. Digressing a little bit, but similar dialogue will apply to Machna if you try to get a Slayer task from him. I clearly do not have the combat level for it. Yes, that's right. I need 50 combat for this. I always thought it was cool that some demon looking guy was able to hand out Slayer tasks to people, and I never actually used him in my 10 plus years of playing this game. I never used him as a Slayer Master. Next we're going to take a look at Moss Giants, but before that I gotta have a look at Elvarg. Wow, she's still here? 2008 guys, that was the first time I did the quest, and I was training ranged at these Moss Giants on Crandall. Let's see if I can find a safe spot. I used to stand behind a safe spot and just range them for hours on end. Good to see they haven't updated the NPC model for these Moss Giants. But anyway, so Moss Giants have now been made to attack with melee and are weak to fire spells. So let's have a look. There you go. You can see that symbol above their head. I'm just going to use a simple spell for a simple man called Fire Strike, and I should be able to kill them instantly. Believe you me, that used to take me like a minute back in the day. Oh man, this place brings back so many good memories, you would not believe it. I don't think I've even been back here since those good old days of 2008. Next we have Fire Giants who now attack with melee. And as you can see, this guy's actually destroying me without any armor, so I better get behind something. Yeah, so this is the way I used to train here. Another nostalgic moment for me. I think I used to train magic here actually. They're weak to water spells, which is kind of what you'd expect. I think I used to put a cannon. There was a safe spot somewhere, wasn't there? Was it beyond here somewhere? Can't actually remember where the safe spot was now. Was it behind this thing? Yeah, I can't remember. So you could attack multiple Fire Giants with a cannon as long as they couldn't attack you. Even if one of them could attack you, then your cannon would only attack that one. I can't remember where the safe spot was now, sorry guys. But yeah, you can use fire spells to attack these guys if you're still interested. I'm sure no one really cares, but I thought it was pretty cool to revisit some old areas from back in the day. And I think this fire giant might actually kill me before I kill it at this rate. Continuing on with the theme of very minor updates, but gives me a chance to revisit some old memories. Let's talk about these black bears. So body rune crafting back in the day. I never did body runes from memory. I think it was always some other type of rune, but I can imagine it's a lot more treacherous now with so many black bears around. I mean, if this was real life, I would stay the hell away from this place, but this is RuneScape, and apparently guys can kill black bears in 2 hits. I don't believe that after watching The Revenant. And if any of you haven't watched The Revenant, I would highly recommend that. It will change your perspective on bears in general. Black, grizzly, white, or panda, whatever it may be. Now, crocodiles east of Sophonim have had their life points halved. I presume for low-level skillers who used to use this red sandstone rock, these guys were quite a big nuisance, but yeah, they're easier to kill now, I suppose. Unfortunately, I've done all my sandstone mining already in preparation to make the blessed flask, so I'm probably going to review that in a future video, but for now, all you need to know is that these crocodiles are much easier to kill, and they're actually weak to air spells, and so I might just cast Airstrike, which doesn't need any runes. There we go, 2 hit them. I wouldn't recommend trying this with a real crocodile, by the way, just making it absolutely clear. Abyssal demons will no longer teleport you randomly when you're in manual combat mode. I didn't know this was a thing. Of course they teleport themselves around, but I didn't know they teleported you, but it's good to know. Good to know, I guess. You don't want to be teleported to the other side of the planet when you get a Hazelmay signet ring drop from an Abyssal demon. Of course, that would be kind of awkward. A bit worse than the Eddie pet, actually. I think a lot worse than the Eddie pet. That was an inside joke. Only a few of you will probably get that Eddie pet joke. I think I better get the hell out of here before this Abyssal demon kills me. Oh, shoot. No. Because I've got a Ring of Slaying Sea, and if I die with it, I lose all the charges. I've done that plenty of times before with ferocious rings. Ah, there we go. Phew. Max skill to the rescue. It's good to be back inside here, actually. Now, the Vengeance group spell will now be castable even if no one can actually be benefited from it. So previously I think you weren't able to cast it if no one was able to benefit. I think it's good to be consistent with all the different spells. So if I cast Vengeance now, I gotta wait 30 seconds. God damn it, I should have known. Just had to get away to somewhere where no one would ever find me, and that of course is the lost city of Menethos, which is officially dead now because no one uses it anymore. But anyway, so if I cast a Vengeance group spell now, it won't say that I can't cast it because no one can benefit from it. I won't be able to benefit from it, there's no one around me, so they won't be able to benefit from it because there's no one there to benefit from it, but it will still cast it. And yep, it tells you that the spell didn't affect anyone, but it still allows you to cast it, which is awesome. Next up we have the Managing Miscellanea reward interface, which has now been brought in line with the standard reward interface found across the game, so hopefully it should be the same as the Telos reward interface or the Araxor one. But anyway, I'm gonna have to collect it prematurely. I only collected it 10 days ago. Cool. So if you compare this with the picture I've got here from what I collected 10 days ago, you can see it looks a lot different. You're able to bank, take or abandon everything, you're able to note everything. So yeah, the only thing missing here is a Hazelmay signet ring. Maybe it's in this bird's nest. That actually looks suspiciously like a Hazelmay signet ring. I'm going to take that out and check, you know, and bank the rest. Oh, damn it. Only a gold ring. No, that really sucks. For this next patch, I'd like to welcome you all to my humble abode, my home, and right now I'm in my study staring at the statue that caused me a lot of pain. 30 consecutive weeks of skilling to get this guy done for my trim back in 2016 mainly. But anyway, the reason we're here is to make some teleport tablets. Again, something I've never done, but I want to show you what the update is. So if I create an oak lectern, there we go, I hammer the book into place somehow from just one plank. Don't ask questions, don't ask questions. This is RuneScape we're talking about. So if we receive the items from the bandana, I've got my soft clay there. So if I try to make a Varrock teleport, let's say we make 10 of them, right? Let's see how long it takes. It's going to take 36 seconds apparently. I'm going to stop that there, remove this lectern, and I'm going to show you how long it's going to take with a higher level lectern. For instance, a mahogany demon lectern or mahogany eagle. Let's go with the demon one, why not? So if I do it now, the same tablet, 5 of them again. Is it going to take? Yep, it's way quicker. It's 4 times quicker, in fact. So I guess that's a nice little advantage if you're an Iron Man, for example, and you're making these, or even if you're just someone who likes to make these, because I do use them quite a lot, to be honest. I'm surprised to say this, but I use these teleport tablets quite a lot, especially the Mazcap one, because I tend to die a lot at raids, so I need to come back quickly, and that's just a convenient way to teleport to Mazcap. To wrap this video up, I just want to mention a few important things that were not necessarily part of the official patch notes, but are still pretty important. The first of these is the player imports lifeboat issue. So as you may know, there was a bug which caused lifeboats to be lost. If you had a voyage that was sent out when the game update happened a couple of weeks ago, I believe, this was fixed last week. For those people who lost lifeboats, I was definitely one of them. I lost 3 of my 4 lifeboats to this bug, and thankfully they've all been returned. So if I attempt to actually show you guys by opening up my voyage list, trying to add the effect, there you go, it's active there. I can't show you the others because they're out on voyages right now. I actually managed to wait for all the ships to return so that I can show you guys that I've got lifeboats in all of them. So here's the last one of those. Can I get a random event? Nope. Can I get a random event again? Nope. So another tip is to make sure you click off the interface after checking every ship that returned to give yourself that chance per voyage of a random event. And of course random events are very useful to get those additional boosts, including lifeboats. So if we go to voyage list and see add effect, I've got that on that ship as well, that one as well, that one as well, and that one as well. And that's thanks to me having added it a long time ago and them turning it into a permanent effect sometime in the last few years. I can't remember when exactly. So once you add it to one ship, it will stay on that ship forever. What they didn't do was they didn't return any lost crew, which is a bummer. I did lose 1 crew member, but that's okay. That's a small price to pay. But if that crew member was a maxed out captain or something, I would have been pretty annoyed. Thankfully it wasn't. I'd like to reiterate, do not touch your graphics settings, guys, because if you do alter it, it may randomly alter something else which you are not able to change as of this moment. So please do not touch that if you can avoid it for now. The UI and client crashes, hopefully they should fix it soon, but I'm really not enjoying bossing, as I mentioned earlier, because of it, because I've crashed several times during long group bosses like Virago and Solak, and I really don't want to have to go through it again. A lot of issues are cropping up. The best way to let Jagex know is probably by Reddit, because that seems to be the place where people are ranting the most right now. There's a bunch of other things that Jagex still need to fix, the biggest one being the Elite Dungeons 3 exploit or bug, which is now very infamous thanks to Protox's video. Again, I would not recommend that you try it at all. Even though they're not handing out bans right now, it's very likely that they will be handing out bans of some sort, even permanent bans in the future, so please don't try it. Obviously feel free to look it up to see how people did it and what it's about. I'm not going to get into the details here. But I think it's time to wrap up this video. So a lot of bugs introduced as a result of today's patches, unfortunately, but a few handy patches as well. A few excuses to revisit some old training spots from the late 2000s. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give me your feedback in the comment section below, and I will see you next time.